Are live,
Hello.
right? There we go. Now
Yes,
it
we
says
are.
we're live.
Yeah, I can't see.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
And we are here with the Magic Hour with Anna Stone and Stephanie Siren.
Hey, everybody.
And tonight, what are we talking about, Anna?
We're talking about dreams and how to analyze them and interpret them, and why are they important to us, in our daily life? Like, why do we care what we dream about while we're sleeping in our waking hours, right?
Right, right. Why should we care about that? Well, definitely our dreams are a connection to our subconscious. And also, there are some people that believe it's our connection to the collective unconscious, correct?
Right. Well, actually, it's interesting because
Hi,
Western
Ward.
culture is the
Mhm.
hi word.
Mhm.
Yay! Thanks for coming back. Western culture is the only culture that does not look at the dream state as important as the rest of like all of the other experiences. So, indigenous tribes and other cultures besides Western culture look at like what happens in your dream is important. Like, and if you have a bad dream, you need to figure it out before you proceed, right? But here we're
Right,
just
like
like
a
whatever.
warning system.
Yeah, we're like whatever here, like, oh, it's a bad dream, but big deal. I'll take some Ambien and like not, or actually Ambien causes worse dreams, I believe. But
Really?
yeah, but then, so a lot of people here in the States are on beta blockers or things like that, which are, prevent you from dreaming. So,
Oh, I did not know that. I
yep,
didn't know that blockers
yep,
prevent dreams.
yep.
We'd love to hear from
Prazosin.
you guys too about any dreams you've experienced that are super vivid, or maybe they were precog dreams. And we want to say deja vu
Uh-huh.
is not you dream it and it happens. Deja vu is when you feel like something's happened again. Now, deja reve is when you dream something and then it happens. And
Yep.
that's a precog dream, right, Anna?
Yes, it is. There's a few different types of different kinds of precog dreams, but yeah, like when you deja rev is when you dream it and then it happens in real life, right? And I'm going to look up the statistics on that, how often that occurs. I'm not actually sure right now.
Okay. Okay. And while you're talking about that, I've actually experienced deja rev from the time I was very small on up. And I had talked about this yesterday, but I'll talk about it again. I had a hard time as a child figuring out when the dream time was and when waking time was because my dream time was so vivid. And usually, when your dream time is super vivid, number one, it's a very shamanic thing to do.
Right.
Number two, it it means you're probably in the astral. You're probably astral traveling. And when they're vivid like this, they're messages too.
Right.
So look at the symbolism, right?
It is about symbolism. It is all about symbolism. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, in shamanist, in cultures that have medicine men or medicine women or, shaman, this is typically dreams are how they're discovered. Like, as in,
Mhm.
they have a dream and they're told in the dream that I'm going to be chosen for a shaman, or the elders have a dream and it's about this child, and then that's how they are picked is through dreams. And then there's also one Aboriginal tribe that has their kids are the father gets a vision of the daughter that he's going to have ahead of time, and that's how he knows that the kid is his and not some other man's. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Like, so yes, so like there was even a case in the village where a man's wife cheated on him, got pregnant, but it didn't matter because the little girl still came to the original, like the husband, and said, "I'm still your daughter," and so they didn't fight about it or nothing, and he just accepted it. Like, that's good. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah. And
crazy.
every shaman I have ever been to always takes your dream time very seriously and their own.
Yeah,
And they journal everything from the dream time.
right.
And because that's how they communicate.
Yeah, and you're supposed to, like, if and here's the thing is, like, we lose our dreams within seconds of waking up.
Mhm.
So if you want to remember what you're dreaming, like the way to do it is to when you wake up to stay sleeping. Like, stay with your eyes closed for a moment when you wake up, and like replay the dream that you just woke up from, and then write it down. Like, that's like, so you're supposed to have something next to your bed. to do
I
that.
want to put what Ward just said up. He asked a question. Do you dream out of your own viewpoint, or do you sometimes dream out of bird's sight as well? I very occasionally dream out of the eyes of the universe, and then I can see that I'm younger or older than my original age. Yeah, yes, we both do. I can say that from conversations Anna and I have both had with each other, where we are able to jump into whoever in the dream and have whoever's focal viewpoint.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's trippy, but yeah, and that's what happens too with just like having psychic information too. Just jumping in that it's like a dream. It's like you're seeing it as a dream. But yeah, like from different perspectives. Sometimes those are okay. So when you're on the outside perspective, watching something that you are doing, it's a witnessing dream. That's what they're called. It's witnessing. You're witnessing yourself experience something,
right?
Or it could be witnessing for somebody else as well. But like you wouldn't be seeing. You'd be seeing from the perspective of just watching, right? But if you're in their viewpoint where you're seeing through their eyes, that's not the same thing. So, but there's the witnessing dreams, and those are really common in midlife. So those are common in midlife, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it seems to be more prevalent as we're in our 30s and 40s to have those kinds of dreams.
A witnessing dream would be. That's interesting. I think maybe that has a lot to do with the revelations that we have of self in midlife. Figuring out who we are, really understanding our identity and moving towards self-actualization.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense because in the earlier years, we're not doing that. We're just kind of following a path, right, that we think we're supposed to go on.
Right, the program.
Right. So what kind of precognitive dreams have you had? Or like lucid dreams? So what do you want to talk about lucid dreams? Or how about when we met up in our dreams?
Oh, yes. Okay, you wanted to speak on that one because
I think crazy. That's great. So Stephanie says to me, and I don't know if she's kidding or not, she's like, "Oh, hey, let's meet in the dreamscape on Friday." And I was like, "Okay, right, whatever." Sounds like on Tuesday. All right, whatever. And I remembered her saying that, but like it didn't stick in the forefront of my brain or whatever. So I go to sleep, happen to sleep on Friday actually, and and I had this fucking dream, like where I was teleported, and it was very normal in this dream to teleport into this cave on the beach, like the beach cliffside in Greece or Italy. I don't know, one of those places that looks like carved into the side of the rock, on the overlooking the harbor or whatever. And I get led up to this palace, and it's like, it's Greece. It's definitely Greece because it's like where the oracles were, right? Whatever. And I get led up, and I'm wearing normal clothes, like this year clothes, like 2023 clothes. And I go into this palace, and there's like a copper tub in the middle of this room, and there's like all these handmaidens or whatever, and they look at me and they're scared because they're like, "Oh my god, what is this lady wearing?" Like, because I'm not fitting in at all. And Stephanie's in the bathtub, and they're all bathing her. Okay. Her crazy hair, and she's like, and they're like, she's like, "Oh, she's the albino witch." Or she called me something funny, like saying I was an albino witch, and they all got scared. And she's like, "Go get her like a gown or something." Like, she like ordered these women away, and they all were like freaking out. And I was just like, "What the fuck?" She goes, "How do you like my bitches?" Or something like that. And I was like, "What?" It was funny.
Hi, Kelly.
I wake up and I'm like, dude, did I just have that dream? So I message her in the morning. I don't say anything about it. She goes, "Hey, it's fun seeing you last night." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" It was really weird. I don't know how to account for
it. So to give some clarity to everybody, I do a lot of dream time or dream walking. It's called shamanistic dream walking. I've always been an astral traveler. It's been my strong suit, especially as a young child. And Anna and I have lived very many lives together. So understanding that and being an Akashic reader, I know that we were oracles, Delphinian oracles for sure. And so it's easy to go back to a space and time that you've already been together.
No, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And so we can take each other there in the dream time, especially when you've had encounters with someone in this reality and the other side. So when you know them and you've been traveling with them enough, you can do this very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so there's so those are like meeting dreams. Okay, those are not often. Those are more rare. But like prophetic dreams, people have a lot. And and I see here. So Tom said, let me put this up. Tom
Okay.
said, have you ever heard that people who grew up in the 40s and 50s with black and white TV and photographs dreamed more often in black and white? I have heard that.
Yes, my parents grew up in that time, and they both said that. And then I wanted to introduce another concept too. My great grandmother, who was actually a mail order bride, her mother tongue was Italian, and she would dream in Italian. She did not dream in English, even though she spoke broken English here. She even told us that, like, I dream in Italian, I don't dream in English ever.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've had dreams too where I speak a foreign language and I understand it, but I don't speak it either.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm not sure. Well, actually, I do. It's German, so I guess that doesn't count because I do speak German a little bit. But it's weird. Yeah, but it's weird because like it's only been German actually, so that's probably why. But there's 10 different types of dreams. Okay, so there's epic dreams, right? And epic dreams they're harder to pin down, and they're like very vivid and memorable. Like they're the ones that are just like, oh my gosh, you felt like you were really there, right? These are ones that could be considered possibly real, like as you might be in the astral traveling or whatever. Okay. And so a lot of people wake up really tired after these dreams. They feel like they did whatever activity was happening in the actual dream.
Right.
There's false awakening dreams. Like these ones I hate these. Like when you have a dream that you wake up, but you're still dreaming, like, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like where you go through and then like your alarm goes off, you wake up, but like actually you're still sleeping and it's just, yeah.
Yeah, to me, those are like when you're stressed out, right? Like
this is from transitioning from REM sleep. So it's like it's your brain cycling out of REM sleep, and so it falsely wakes you up, but you're still asleep. So you're not, now you're in like the lucid. So you go from REM to like more lucid, but it kind of, it's a misfire.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see. What did the word says?
Okay, yeah, we need to see that one.
What does that say?
I sometimes remember flying between giant trees. I look like a big brown bird. I fly to a mountain and go into a cave where I just sit and look around all the time. So I'm going to actually address this one with you, Ward, because this could be one of two things, okay? You could either be remembering a shamanistic life doing this, where you were able to remote view through animals, okay? Or you're remote viewing through animals now. One of the two.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So there's there's also, let's see, what are the other ones? There's more dreams. So the false awakening, right? Then there's lucid dreams, and this is a small percentage of individuals can do this. Only a small percentage. Not everyone can have a lucid dream, which is interesting. So this means that you're in that state between the dream state and consciousness. And in some cases, people even have the ability to control the narrative of their dream and communicate in that state. So it is actually possible, if you already have this ability, it's possible for you to train yourself to actually have control over your dreams like that. Okay, so
absolutely. And you can also set intent, right? Like before you go to sleep, like I did with you, I was like, I'm going to go do this. We're going to do this and this, and I played it over and over before I went to sleep to let myself know where we were going.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and then there's nightmares, and those are defined as a frightening or otherwise disturbing dream where fear, sadness, like disgust, despair, or some combination of those things form the emotional content, right? And most of us like will wake up really suddenly from these dreams, like like wake up and it disturbs your actual daily life, like it interferes with like your mental functioning because it's like upsetting, right? But then there's night terrors, and that's different than a nightmare. A night terror or sleep terrors. Many people, like according to Mayo Clinic, like many people experience episodes of screaming, intense fear, flailing while still asleep, and this actually causes them to move about, like where they actually are like thrashing around in their sleep, right?
Mhm.
And it's often paired with sleepwalking. So night terrors are often paired with sleepwalking. So that's also like a failure of your parasympathetic nervous system to keep
Right.
you know, paralyzed while you sleep, right?
Well, have you ever sleptwalked?
Yes. When I was
So
in
did I. Like,
meditation.
so badly as a child, I sleptwalked that my parents had to put high up locks on the doors because I would just wander outside completely asleep. I would be having tea parties completely asleep, or I'd even just stand over the bed and just stand there.
Yeah, oh, that's terrifying. Yeah. It's fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy did that once. It was so scary. I woke up and she was just staring at me. I was like, oh my God, it's sort of a horror movie.
Oh, this was a common occurrence for me.
Yeah. So night
Yeah.
terrors are more common in kids and usually stop in adolescence.
Yep.
Although like some adults have them, and they're like these dreams can last for minutes, right? So most dreams are seconds. These dreams can actually last for minutes. And then there's progressive dreams, and there's not a lot of research on these, but it's like a sequence of dreams which this narrative unfolds like a story, like a soap opera, like it keeps going. And I don't know if you've had this, but I hate this when I have a dream and it's not the best, and I wake up and then I go like get water or something, go back to sleep, and I pick up exactly where I left off in that dream, and it just continues. Like I hate that so much.
I love that
It's
actually.
never the good dreams, never the good ones.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it's the symbolic dreams, the ones where they definitely have messages. In fact, to this day, I can remember the prophetic dream I had where I precogged my grandfather's death. And it was my grandmother, who had already passed on, visited me in a dream. And guys, if you have a past loved one that's visiting you in a dream, that is a real visitation.
Yep.
That is not, oh, I dreamt of them. It's they came to you.
Yes. Yes.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And it's
provided it's like not crazy. Like provided it's not like some,
right.
Like nightmare, right? And I mean, unless
Right.
they're a nightmare person, but
Like they
like,
themselves in your dream.
yeah,
It shouldn't
you'll know
be
the
some.
difference. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so it was very clearly her. We were sitting in her car that she had in life, and she's explaining to me how my grandfather's going to die. And she's giving me all these symbols. She's showing me he was on dialysis at the time. She was showing me an infection from the dialysis machine. He got sepsis and all of these things, and what he's going to die from, and that they're going to bring him back, and he doesn't want to come back. He wants to be with her, and just all these things. And she even gave me time. She was like, in a month's time. Like, it was very specific. And I woke up from the dream, and I still remember where we were sitting, the parking lot we were sitting in. Hi, Hanifa. Where we were, what was happening, what I felt, and I felt her love. I felt her there. So I took it very serious, and I took it to my family, and they took it very serious. Yeah, and so it was helpful because it assisted us actually in his home hospice care, like setting it up and giving him a death the way he wanted to die, instead of being brought back over and over again at a hospital, which he did not want.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, like that's really that's like a common one, that if you do have them, it's like someone dying. There's also so that's a prophetic dream, right? So this started like back in ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, and these and then it picked up again by Freud and Jung, and it's like been woven throughout human history this whole time. Like there's been instances of prophetic dreams being, I mean, for God's sakes, in the Bible, like the reason that Joseph and Mary left, while she was pregnant, was because Joseph had a dream about, the king killing Jesus, right? Like, so he left, like based on a dream, and so that was in there, which is funny. Later, the church is like, dreams are bad, but whatever. So like, okay. But yeah, so there's that, like, and again, not everybody has them, but they are common among people that do have them, if that makes sense. Yeah. So recurring dreams, though, these are the ones that you really want to look out for, because recurring dreams they're repeat themes, repeat situations going over and over again, and they are literally, it's telling you that there is a need for something that's unresolved in your psyche to be resolved. And this is, so it's like a sign to you that you're missing something, you're not getting a message, like you're not healing something within you. And this is very across the board, almost all healthcare recognizes that this is the thing, like recurring dreams.
Yeah.
If they're upsetting, normally no one has recurring good dreams. I mean, like, it would be nice, but they probably don't. Then there's the vivid dreams again, which is the REM. They're also called REM rebound dreams because, again, it's like this problem that's happening from REM sleep into the more lucid sleep, and it's just falsely, like, it's making you see as if you're consciously dreaming, right? And there's some common dream themes, right? So arguments. If you have an argument with someone in your dream, it means that there's an unresolved issue or big decision that needs to be rationalized in your life. If you're being chased, oh God, damn, I hate chase dreams. I hate them. You're in fight or flight mode, struggling with something in real life. So if you're being chased, it's something in your daily life that is weighing on you that you're like avoiding. You know what I mean? Like you're like trying to avoid it. So you're trying to run from it. Cheating is often a reflection of relationship issues regarding communication and trust. I'm going to say they're prophetic.
I'm going to say they're prophetic as well.
Yeah.
And I usually also, the ones that are repeated patterns or flight or flight for me are usually a warning. It's usually a warning coming in for me.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Crashing a car. What do you think crashing a car would symbolize?
Out of control with your life?
That's exactly right. Out of control, or trying to process a traumatic event. Drowning is being overwhelmed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Being overwhelmed or having repressed emotions, or physically having problem breathing while you're asleep, like actually in real life you're like sleep apnea or something, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have those, that's important, because like if you have a dream where you're constantly drowning, it might be because you're actually not breathing in the way in the reality.
Creepy. You know what else I do know is, guys, if you dream of a house, that house is you.
Yeah, it is. It is how the inside looks. Yes. The house, any building you're inside of is you. That's representing you.
And I actually had a dream once where I was going to an abandoned haunted house and exploring it. And at that time, I had a lot of repression going on in my waking life. So, having a haunted house is very symbolic of not expressing yourself and keeping everything in.
Yep. Then there's the death or dying dreams. Like if you dream about somebody dying or like death or whatever, it's either actual grief processing or there's a potential change in your future. It's kind of like the death card in tarot, I guess. Failing a test. Failing a test is a big dream too. And this is as the brain tries to like process excessive information, right? You might be worried like how well you're handling responsibilities going on. So like if there's new stuff that you're doing, like a new job or something like that, and you feel like you're having dreams of failing a test, it might be because you feel like you're not soaking in what you need to know for something else in life, like your new job or whatever, right? Falling. So there's a rumor that if you fall and you die, like hit the ground in your dream, that you actually die, right?
Right.
No one knows that. There's no way you can know that.
Bring this one up actually, because Ward said, as a child, I dreamed about colorful figures appearing one by one, each figure getting bigger every second, and also a new figure always appearing. I don't lose sight of any figures. It feels infinite. When I wake up, I was always extremely anxious. So, Ward, I want to tell you something. I think we've talked about this before, but maybe not. I think you saw your other lives. Like you were seeing your different avatars or other lives. And so it made you anxious because you didn't realize it was you. And so that's what I'm seeing in this dreamscape. And also one of them or a couple of them were ETs. So of course that would make you feel funky. Yeah. So that's my take on it. What do you think, Anna?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah, I think it's another, like you're seeing it from a different, different life. So like, these are maybe like back before we were in this iteration, like when you were somewhere else, in another place, like not Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't seem earthly to me at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the anxiousness would be like because you recognize that place and you don't have a connection to it anymore. and
Right.
homesickness, like a homesickness kind of feeling, right? Yeah. So, and then like, okay, so falling, if you lack control in your life is what it feels like. Flying is you're free and liberated, or you want to be free and liberated from something. You want to escape.
Oh, I'd love to hear from people how they fly in their dreams, because I don't know about you, Anna, but when I was a kid, I had to run in place in my dreams to fly.
Yes, no, me too. I do. I have to. Yes. I have to like get a running start, and like I can't just go. Like,
Yes.
it's like running. Like if someone's chasing me, this is the worst part for me. It's like if someone's chasing me, it like takes me forever to get up speed, and then like I'll come to like a curb, and I'll have to slowly step down, and then it starts all over again. Like I'm wading through water, and it's just like, and they're catching up to me, and I'm like, oh my god. And I know it's because I can't move my legs. Like that's why, right?
Right.
Nudity dreams, guys. 70% of everybody's had a dream where they're naked in public.
Oh, the going to school and not having your clothes. I always had that dream, and then I had to wear the lost and found clothes to class. Oh, it's terrible.
Can see why. I know why you had that dream. I know exactly why. I know exactly. Pregnancy or birth dreams are it could be like you're giving birth to a new idea, or it could be that you're actually pregnant, right? Because that's a really common one. And teeth falling out. Teeth falling out is really common. And this one is about being anxious or not being able to communicate properly.
I wanted to post Hanifa's here because I wanted to tell her what I think that one was. I once dreamt that I was watching a pair of huge white glistening wings next to me on my bed. The wings were so huge and very beautiful. Okay, so that was an angelic visitation. That's definitely what that was, Hanifa. What do you think, Anna?
I mean, yeah, I would say that that's like a guardian angel kind of thing. They're just letting you know that they're by
watching
your side,
you.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, we could talk about like how do you analyze a dream? Like, if you have a dream, like, what do you do to analyze it, right? So, if you're looking at the Jungian perspective of it, which I think is the best one, I'm biased. It would be there's a couple things that you could do. There's free association, right? So so you think of the dream you had, and like what associations do you have to the images in that dream? What do they remind you of in your own life? What memories does that dream bring back to you? And what similarities does this dream have to other dreams you've had, right? So like, are they connected in any way, right? And then there's the universal symbolism aspect of it, right? Because our psyche speaks in symbols. It does not speak in like regular language. It speaks symbolically. So you would think like, what could there possibly be to be learned through these images in your dream? Like, like, can you draw it? Can you draw on paper, like your dream, like the overall picture of it, right? That can be helpful. Mm-hmm. What cultural or religious or universal symbols were in your dream, if any? And what similarities would this dream have to any religious stories you grew up with? Is also like another way to look at it too. So, and if you're like a therapist, like a dream coach or something, you would ask like, what might this dream be saying about the dreamer's progress towards integration of the shadow, right? Like how would this fit into that process? Or what is it revealing about unresolved experiences? Or what is it showing about imbalances in the person's life? Or what is it showing about the collective unconsciousness messages on a larger scale? Like, is there anything that's like a universal truth there? So those are the things that you would look at if you're doing a Jungian perspective on your own dream. Which is really hard to do without someone coaching you through it, though. Like, it's really hard to just do that by yourself, I think.
Okay, so we just got a good one here.
Yeah.
Pulling it up from Kelly. What about a dream where you're in a barn and you see a squirrel sitting on a post and a little girl standing looking up? I looked up and saw a dark entity, and I fly up to it and hold it to leave them alone to get out and never bother them again. Then I flew back down and told the little girl everything would be okay. So I would say that is your inner child that you're protecting. And a barn would be like a grounding kind of thing, right? Because barns are earthy and they're made of wood and they're connected to animals in the earth.
Right. Or it could be that barns are pretty open too, though. So maybe there wasn't a lot of security within that home life. Like maybe there was a lot of room to be too much on their own as a kid and not supervised, or like, not having like a parental, like the animals were there instead kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like as caregivers, whatever. I don't know. This depends on like the person's situation, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know what a squirrel would mean, except you got to look up like what a squirrel. Well, what does a squirrel mean to you, Kelly?
Exactly. Right on.
I was just gonna say, what do squirrels mean to you? Because that's going to be your answer there. But it's definitely you're protecting your inner child from an attack.
Right. Yeah. So that's. Oh wow! Hey, thanks, Hanifa. That's great. Look at her comment.
Yeah. Thank you, Hanifa. I'm so glad I could help you out. That makes me so happy. I've heard I get great results from remote Reiki. So
yeah, it seems like that's awesome.
Yeah, and guys, if you guys have any aches, pains, anything like that you just can't get rid of on the regular, come and see me at my website, because I do 1 hour to 90-minute healing sessions, and you can book on my website, thegypsysiren.com.
Yeah, you have like a lot of testimonials now too.
Yeah.
So Kelly says, "Oh, okay, yeah, I love animals, and they saved me when I was younger. I absolutely love squirrels." There you go. Yeah,
there you go. So it's a protective thing. It's a nurturing thing. It's also playful. I mean, squirrels are playful.
Yeah.
Right. And
small and like innocent. I think like they're like a little innocent animal. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they're cute, and they're like they look like they might be cuddly, but they're probably not. Like yeah. So that makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Yeah. So if you guys have like tell us any other dreams you have. Like I wanna like analyze these more. This is fun.
Oh yes, absolutely, guys. Anything you can share with us. When I was when I was a little girl, actually. You're welcome, Kelly. When I was a little girl, actually, I dream of this like dank, dark castle that I would always be roaming, and it'd have like these hidden doorways and all these other things. And now I realize that was me recognizing parts of myself as a child. And it was repetitive, but it felt good.
Yeah.
So it felt like a happy place, even though it was dank and dark. I was okay with that. So I'm wondering if anybody else has dreamt of castles or houses
or tidal waves.
Oh, that's a good one.
Tsunami, whatever. Tsunami, tidal wave, whatever you want to call it.
I've never had the tsunami dream, but I know people who have.
Okay, I did over and over and over again, over and over, and it was horrible. And it was the same dream every time. It was like I was in a high-rise condo building on the beach, and I'm with whoever was important to me at that time in my life, right? Like, so if it was a boyfriend or my kid, it depended, right? And I would hear some like rumbling noise, and I'd look outside and I'd see all the water was gone, and there would just be like shells and like dead fish flopping around or fish flopping around, whatever. And at this point, I didn't even know that happened. Like, I didn't know that the water gets sucked out first. I did not know that. So that was kind of weird. And then all of a sudden you just see this like black thing coming in towards you, and it's just this wall of water, and you just wait for it to hit, and like, cuddling, like grabbing onto the person I'm with. And then like, you feel like the impact, and then nothing. And then I go look, and everything is destroyed except for the one building I'm in. And like, finally, it was so disturbing to me. Like, I took medication to not have this dream. Like, I took beta blocker so I wouldn't dream, because it was constant. And my therapist was like, I guess she got sick of me not figuring out for myself. So she finally told me what it was. This was in it's like 2006, 2005. And like,
right around the same time as the big tsunami.
Oh yeah, before that. But like, also it was because it was right when I was in the custody case with my kid. Like, it was a whole
thing. Okay.
Case. So yeah, I was like, anyways, my therapist was like, well, yeah, because you feel like you have no control. And so she told me what it meant. And therapy is not supposed to do that. They're supposed to make you figure it out. But she was, I think, fed up. And so she told me, and the minute she told me, it went away. I never dreamed it again, ever. And but a couple years later, I'm here in LA, and I go to dinner on this date I was on, and they tell me to go to this restaurant in Santa Monica. It's at the top of a hotel, and I get there, and I look out the window, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the view I had from that dream every single time. Like, it was so creepy. It really freaked me out. Like, I couldn't enjoy the day because
Oh no.
just thinking about it the whole time. Yeah, it was really, really weird. It was that building. I don't know how I would have known that, but it was so weird. Yeah.
Mm.
So, okay, Ward says, I'm a robot. Okay, hang on. Let me post this.
Yeah,
I'm a
post it.
robot.
There we go.
I'm leaking, oil leaking from my leg. I'm limping and looking for a place to sleep. In the meantime, I'm chasing away a rabbit leaking from my oil when I suddenly hear a young man laughing. He says, I do have a sleeping place for you. I enter his garage, which is infinitely long, and look for a bed. He says, don't go back too far or you will hear the dogs barking too loud. After a while, I'm redecorating the garage with the young man.
Interesting. So first of all, I'm going to start with the robot part. And oil is leaking from your leg. So what's going on that's creating an issue where you can't be emotionally vulnerable?
Yeah.
And also, who are you giving love to that's not reciprocating? And why do you feel like you don't have a place to lay your head, to rest your head? Because to me, this is meaning that when we have a place to rest our head, we have like a place to be home with ourselves, right? So this would indicate to me that you're not at home with yourself at this time that this happened.
Yeah.
I don't know, Anna. What do you think about
weird.
the dog?
I mean, I'm like, the robotic thing is like, are you like, is there something in your life that you're faking, like masking, like, you know, going about like just the motions in life, like just going about like on autopilot basically in some area of your life, and it's wearing you out. It's causing you to have like, you know, a lot of exhaustion because it's a lot of work to do that. And then you just want to kind of be over it, but you can't because there's always other distractions going on. The dogs barking would be more distractions keeping you from like being able to be authentic, maybe, because a robot's not authentic, right? So I don't know.
Right.
It depends. Yeah, and then I don't know, and it seems like maybe you have an idea of this young man, whoever this is maybe, I don't know if it's yourself, the other version of yourself. It's like the authentic part of yourself wants to collaborate with the robotic part of yourself, like, and you know what I mean. They wants to share and space with you.
And he said young man. And to me, when a young man is present, it means a younger self and a more vulnerable version of yourself, somebody who still is unjaded, you know,
and like childlike curiosity, wonder, like kind of thing, right? Innocence. Yeah. I don't know. Just let us know if that makes sense.
Hanifa. Oh, okay. I love this one. Okay, she said, can I add my dream from last night? I dreamt that my husband and I were on the highway in our van, and we suddenly started driving in reverse very fast. Then our van was just speeding in reverse automatically. Do you feel like you guys are yeah, this is a good thing, right? This is,
I feel like, yeah, I mean, it could be that you feel like, are you backing away from, like, I don't know. It's like, is there something that you want to undo? Like, you know, is it like backwards? Like you should go backwards on something? I'm not sure. What do you think, Stephanie?
I'm thinking vitality. I'm thinking that they're going towards feeling younger.
Okay, that could be it too. Yeah.
Yeah, like reverse in this one, I feel like it's a traveling back in time almost kind of thing. But
right,
like really,
go back.
Really good. Like you guys are rejuvenating something. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, if it's going very fast too, like maybe that's, yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
And then there's snakes. We have to have snakes in dreams, right?
Well, oh my gosh, like, okay. I am so correct. Perfect, Anifa. Okay, so Kelly, first of all, I love the thing about snakes, and I'll explain in a minute, but first let's read this. Anna, you want to read it?
Okay, I used to have horrible dreams of snakes coming up around the bathtub while I was in, or snakes coming up through the toilet. Oh God, while I was using it. I dreamt that so much, but finally conquered my fear of snakes and haven't dreamt of them since, but I still don't like them whatsoever. So yeah, you did exposure therapy, I'm assuming then, like you went and got like close with a snake and you're like, I'm going to touch it and like, it's going to be fine. Yeah, like same. I'm like that with ventriloquist dolls. Don't tell anyone. The things didn't scare me, and like I had to do the same thing. I had to go stand in front of one and just look at it and like be like, ah. But yeah. So snakes, what is that representing, Stephanie?
So snakes are actually healing. And when you dream of snakes, it's actually a healing aspect. Like what in your life needs to be healed.
Right.
For me personally, when I had my spiritual awakening in 2018, I had a full year of dreaming of snakes. And I'm talking every snake in history, every snake in religious text, every snake you can imagine. I was standing on the edge of a temple, and Quetzalcoatl is coming up face to face with me and locking third eyes. I'm dreaming of Aida Wado, the creation snake, whom I've also had visions of in waking life. She is so ancient, it's outrageous. Like when I felt how she was older than creation, it was whew. And snakes are healing. They shed their skin when they need to. They death and rebirth. They're death and
Right.
rebirth symbols.
Yeah.
So you're growing out of something when you see snakes. You're
Yeah.
moving on to something else.
Yeah. It's like a shedding the skin, like yeah, like you've outgrown it. It's time to move on to something. So if you're like on the fence about trends, like some kind of like going forward on something or like leaving something behind, then that's a symbol that yeah, you need to go and do it. Like, right? That would be like
Yeah.
yeah, you need to
Yeah,
move
it's a
forward.
death rebirth symbol. You're shedding, you're coming into a new skin, a new life, new things. Hanifa said, I thought snakes mean enemies. No, not
If they're in the grass, right? Like if they're in the grass hidden,
yes, if they're in the grass.
yeah.
But also I did have the fear of them coming up through the toilet when I was a kid. I think we were all told that at some point.
We saw it in some dumb movie. I don't know, like something, like just like quicksand and everything else. Like that was gonna be like a problem for us when we were adults. Like right, like stuff that like we had to watch out for. Quicksand, snakes, like I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. So Tom says, I had a dream that I was the owner of a large cabin in the mountains, and all over the floor were people, young hippies, sleeping while I walked around in the night and kept watch over them. I love that one, actually. Tom, we need to hire you for our next cabin trip.
We're like at the fish show, like afterwards, like yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's actually a really good dream. I think that's a protective dream of your younger self. And also maybe some aspects of the tender-hearted, free-spirited lover self that you were younger, your younger version of yourself.
Yeah. Or like you're having, so you're the owner of the cabin. So that's you. Remember, like it's you. So the cabin is you. So what's inside of the cabin is some hippies. So it's you. You've got some, like you want to do that stuff again. Like that seems to me like a reliving of some stuff that you did when you were younger. Like, wanting to get back in touch with that kind of free-spirited younger version of yourself that was not as tied down and bogged down by like the daily shit, right? Like that's what it sounds like.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Ashika said, my spiritual awakening started in 2019. It's still going on. LOL. You know what? We all are. Like mine started in 2018, and it's a spiral, right? We're constantly learning about ourselves, constantly exploring. We're gaining perspective as we go. But now I know a death and rebirth when I'm going through it. Before I would get so victimized by it and would be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Not understanding that it's just the energies of the universe aligning me to my better path and surrendering to it. Like when you surrender to it, it's just easier.
Yeah, it's no fun though. It's not fun. It's kind of stressful, right? Yeah.
Angela says,
we are at that time.
Yes, we are at that time. Angela, do you have a specific question for us that we can answer for you? That's how we do it here.
That's how we're doing it.
Yeah. And also anybody else who wants to share their dreams for us to help kind of figure out, like, we shall help. Anna, what was your earliest vivid dream? Do you know? Oh, okay. Wait. So Angela wants to know. I wonder what's going to happen with me and Dalen. Okay. So I'm assuming Dalen is a prospective partner. Angela, is that correct? And Tom said, I had a dream when I was young that a large bank of fog separated all of my schoolmates from home, and I was the only one brave enough to walk through it and find it was safe. Pass through. Okay, so Angela says yes. Okay, so
I'll check it out and see.
okay, so why don't you go ahead and do the cards for her, and I'm gonna sit with it and see what I get about Dalen. Angela, why do I feel like he's not telling you the truth?
Mind games. Like I'm getting fighting or like just like conflict. Like I don't know. Queen of Cups, Magician reversed. He doesn't.
Because he doesn't all the time. Okay.
Well, yeah. So yeah, he's definitely. So you're like over here with your energy, Queen of Cups energy, like, oh hey, like let's do this, and he's like, like he's yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But I can't. I like. Oh no. Yeah. So that means it's toxic. FYI.
Yeah, that is a toxic. It's a lesson. It's to see if you can love yourself enough to let him go.
I don't want to be you. I just got over that shit.
No, I just got out of that too. It's a hard one. Yeah, it's really hard when you have to let go of somebody who makes you feel like crap, especially.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, I'm seeing that this might be a pattern with you. Like you might have this happening. You might be attracted to people that are less than kind to you all the time. And so this is a repeat of that same cycle going on because it's time for you to shed that cycle and get rid of it. So as hard as it is, it might be in their best interest to put yourself, tower here. Yeah, it's going to end up the same. Like, so I don't see it. Like, I hate to tell you that, but it is because right now you're just in the cycle. It's like repeating. So you need to like, I mean, have fun for now. How's that? Have fun for now.
But don't get your feelings too involved because it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Like have fun, try not to be too attached. But like I feel like if it's already this early on and he's already lying and stuff, trust me, the behavior in the first part of relationship is going to be exactly what you get the rest of the relationship. So like if they're already acting bad, it's only gonna get worse. So, I'm sorry.
She wants to know when she's meant to meet the person.
I can tell you exactly when you do this, when you break that cycle, because until then it's just going to be the same idiots coming through over and over again in a different skin suit, and it's going to be the same shit. And like, trust me, I know, like very much so. Like it's unfortunate, but it's the thing. So until you pick yourself and you don't let people treat you like, you know you deserve to be treated. So like, make them treat you the way.
You have to break the cycle, and then once you've broken the cycle, it like frees up space in your energetic container, your person, your auric self, your etheric self, all these things. It makes room for the universe to bring in somebody who is your vibe.
Right.
Okay.
They're not going to do that if you're like
your vibe first. You've got to choose it, right?
Right. If you're picky, like, so if you're dealing with the people that treat you like garbage and like don't value you the way you should be, why would the universe want to give you somebody that would? Because you're just going to end up probably ditching them for the other guy anyway, right? Like, so you got to have them out.
Angela, I'm gonna coach you right now because your answer was sometimes it's me. I think you're minimizing right now.
No.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you kicking him? Like, so
why are you kicking him out though? That's the question.
For no reason, or because he's a dick? Like there's
right
tension here, right? Like you're not just being a bitch out of nowhere. Right? Or are you? I mean, maybe you are, but like, usually we don't do that, right? Yep. Trauma. Yeah. And see.
But you know what? We bring in our past relationships that we need to transcend. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally said, I'd rather be by myself than in a toxic relationship. That's where I'm at, sister. That's where I'm at too.
I was like, no, don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's better to be by ourselves than with somebody who's stressing us out. You are very welcome.
Yeah,
don't take him back. It doesn't work that way. You need to let it go and help yourself, so that, when we say I need to give myself the oxygen mask before I give it to others. Like, you need to take care of your issues before you can be there for anybody else or be in a healthy relationship, period.
True. And if you have trauma, you gotta fix it. You gotta I mean, you can do it with a partner, but they have to be the right partner to do it with, right?
Right.
You don't have to be alone, but like it's not if you're not capable of handling it, it's not good.
Right, exactly. Ashika asked, can I ask a health related question? Yes, you may. I don't give life or death answers, but I will tell you if I feel something in my body that you need to know.
Yep, I don't do health, so that's all you stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's see. Okay. So Ashika, go ahead and ask the question. And Angela, you're welcome. Okay.
You're welcome, Angela. Thank you.
Let's see. And we're wrapping up. We're in our last 9 minutes. So anybody who wants to get any questions out, go for it. Post it. And I'm trying to think of any of the, when I was growing up, I always had deja rev. But it would be like specifics, right? Like, it would be like, okay, this person's going to say this thing. This brand of whatever is going to be in my hand. I'm going to turn around, look at them, blah, 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 like very specific.
Here you go.
Okay. See your knees recovering completely post your injury. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say, Ashika. Actually, you're going to deal with what I call granny knees. And what that is you're going to be able to predict when it's going to rain. You're going to be able to know when the barometric pressure changes, because you're going to have like kind of an arthritis in the knee kind of thing. It's just what I'm seeing. You will be recovering, but it's just like your knees are going to be like your weather vanes. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's what I see for you.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there with me. I know when it's going to rain. Like, my joints do that too. Yeah.
And then Ward asked,
I love raccoons. They're so cute, except for their
I could see it being a raccoon for sure, but honestly, I'm going to tell you, I think you've got like an eagle or something else, like a bird, definitely. Yeah, an owl.
Yeah. Owls. I love owls. Yeah, owls. Like a gray barn owl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why I got gray.
No, I got owls from him before too, so I agree with you on that. But also like birds. Birds are a big theme for you, Ward. And I honestly think that's because you remote viewed inside birds before. Okay, so Angela says, should I try to fix things with my ex-fiance? No.
Probably not.
No, do not do that, because you'll get the same outcome again.
Right. No, yeah, you're in a cycle.
You're in a cycle. Unless you like wanted to drag him to hell with you. I mean, that's a great idea if you like don't like him. But like if you're like you care about this person, then no. Because Angela, you're breaking a cycle. You're about to break a cycle. And it's gonna be a tower moment. And so you need to just
people don't change, man. Like, it sucks, but they don't change. Just they mask for a little while and then they'll just go right back to their same bullshit. So you know, like you can't. Yeah, months, years ago, doesn't matter. No.
Okay, Kelly asked, I know what is all wrong with me, but do you see my health getting better? Kelly, why do I see chronic illnesses happening with you, like chronic pain too? I'm feeling like you have chronic pain going on. Let me know if that's correct. Also, I'm feeling like it's a thyroid thing or something because I'm getting something right in here. Tell me if I'm close. You do lots of pain. Okay, Kelly, I'd really like to send you some Reiki right now, if that's okay. And I see you getting better through regular Reiki, honestly.
Oh, she has a thyroid problem, she said. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. So I'm going to send you first this grounding sound. This is Septarian. And it's got some beautiful grounding qualities to it.
You okay with it?
And it's going to help first ground your root chakra. And while I'm doing this, I'd like you to imagine little roots growing out of the bottoms of your feet and into the ground for me. Take a deep breath. And just blow it out as best you can. Ooh, you're making me sweat a little bit, Kelly.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm going to grab my amethyst. I have a angel amethyst point here. And I'm going to put this to my throat. And Kelly, as I do this, I'd like you to also clear your throat for me. We're going to go like this together. We're going to... And then a deep breath. Okay. And I'm going to push this energy towards you because I have activated chakras in my hands. And this will help clear your pain. And I do offer private sessions over Zoom, Kelly, if you want to book with me on my site, thegypsysiren.com. And I can clear people's pain out of their body. I have a master's in Japanese traditional Reiki and also in shamanistic modalities of Reiki. So there you go, my sweet. I hope this helps. And I'm going to talk to Kelly's body for a moment. And I need you to know that pain is not your only option. And that you will be out of pain for the next 24 hours. Your body will need lots of rest, but it will be out of pain. And it will feel like it's in a blissful state. All of my love coming from the other side through me and to you. This is the divine talking. So much love from the divine into your vessel. There we go. There's a clearing. And guys, when I snap and I can hear it is a muscle test. When I can't hear it, it means I'm not clearing you yet. Okay, thank you, Kelly. Okay, so Ward says, you can help me to see who the lady is around me. She says sorry to me and shining light on me. She is on my bed, sitting and keeping me safe. She's one of your spirit guides.
Yep.
You have 5, Ward, and she's one of them, and she lived another life with you as Native Americans. Like, she was actually like, you were a shaman, and she was like a medicine woman, and now she watches over you.
Yep.
Jamal?
Yeah, Jamal.
Hi, Jamal. Been through a rough time. Will me and my ex start talking again? Thanks. Yes, but you guys are gonna have issues. I see you fighting your arguments happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a false hope. It's false start.
Yeah, it's a test coming your way, and being a rough time makes a lot of sense. actually, because when we're having a rough time is when we're tested the most. It's like an energy of being tested.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll start back up, but it's not gonna go anywhere. It looks like, you know. Yeah.
And you guys are exes are exes for a reason.
No, that's not always true, Mark.
No, Mark. I'm sorry.
Not always true. Trust me on
Mark,
that
I think you're talking from a wounded place here.
one.
You know, because honestly,
No, man, like you could do anything and everything, and still they'll be unhappy and bitching about some shit you didn't do right. And girls do the same thing. It's not just
yeah,
guys.
It's not just one gender. It's everybody.
Nope. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So okay, so it's 8 o'clock. So
okay, well, everyone, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you all, and this has been a fun episode.
Yeah,
and we will see you 1 week from yesterday, because 2 weeks, I mean, because next week we're on holiday. It's holiday week. So we will see you all in 2 weeks on the same channel, same time. And we appreciate you. Namaste.
Yes, very much.
Thank you all so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.